Kev and Rev, Kev and Rev, Kev and Rev, Kev and Rev, Kev and Rev Show. We're recording now. How are we doing, guys?
Very good, thank you.
I'm joined
All good.
Kev and Rev Show.
On the lockdown, but surviving.
Lockdown vibes.
Lockdown
vibes.
Well, you're properly enjoying yourself there, Rev. That is
It's good. Kev did a tap and top and drop for me yesterday, and I'm telling you, those tea cakes, Kev, they are lethal.
Mate, once you start them, there's 2 trays with 8 in each tray, as you know, and I always try and be good and put one tray in the. Firstly, I put them in the fridge, let them chill because that's the only way to eat them. And I take one tray out with every intention of I'm just going to have this tray and then I'll leave the rest. But I never make it through the night without dropping them all, mate. Honestly.
Well, I can tell you, I've gone for the 3 tea cake strategy.
Okay.
So strategy number 1 is I'm desperate for a tea cake. So I strip the wrapper off it and I get it down in one.
Boom.
Boom, gone. The marshmallow bit sticks to the top of my mouth, the crispy bit on my tongue, and I get it right in the back of my teeth, and it's brilliant. So that's my hit, done. Lovely, bubbly.
And you just let it melt.
The next one is I'm a top off. So I turn it on its side, and I give it a and try and rip the marshmallow bit off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely fun. And the other one, because now my cup of tea is about cool enough for me to have a tea cake with it.
Oh.
So I give it a dunk.
Dunk it.
Oh, mate.
But you can't actually dunk it 5 times because it does disintegrate.
What's
so
the
it's a 4 dunk dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, bosh.
So, Jimbo, what we're talking about here, and there's many styles of tea cake, but these are M&S salted caramel tea cakes. Way to go, M&S tea cakes, and you haven't lived, mate, until you've had a chomp
tea cake
or a suck on an M&S salted caramel tea cake.
Suckers.
And Rafa is setting the pace of different ways of how to munch down on those babies.
They are good. So thanks for that, dearest Kev.
You are most welcome.
I love it. So what are we finding difficult about lockdown then, boys?
Well, I've just had the weirdest experience where I've had a Sky engineer come to sort my Sky box out, and as much money as I pay Sky every month to watch TV, I had to fit it myself with him talking to me through the window.
Blimey.
So with him, he's got his gloves and masks on, but no, wouldn't step foot in the house.
How did he do that in your 3rd floor flat?
Long ladder.
A long ladder, Kev.
He's like James Bond hanging outside on a line, swinging around the house.
Yeah, it was an experience. But anyway, I'm all comms up again now, so that's good.
That's handy.
What about you, young James? What's your biggest challenge?
Not seeing people. I think that's the biggest one. I'm a big people person, just like you two, and make them a flat white, a coconut flat white for Mr. Reeve on a Sunday morning.
Mate, and they are the best, by the way.
I
actually thought about you this morning because I've got some coconut and almond milk that I had over my Alpen this morning and I'm berries now. So I've got some blueberries and raspberries in the old Alpen, fresh ones, coconut milk. And I did have a little tear in my eye thinking the last time I had a coconut milk was in me latte, that young James chucking it into my hand before I rushed through the double doors to try and beat the 500 people that all sit and worship together on a Sunday in front of the big screens and the big noise, and Brit the Voice is there, and we got PJ, we got Pastor John, and he's got a great word for us, and you can smell and feel the people and the excitement. But no, we don't have that now, do we?
No, we don't.
No, mate.
Instead, we've got them on a screen.
But,
now we've got them on a screen.
But the people factor, because I think that humans we're not really designed to be on our own, are we?
No, we're not. Not at all.
Well, I don't know. That depends who you've got in your life, I suppose, at the time.
Yeah, but talk to me
but
about...
We're able to make a lot more choices now because we're not so easy to reach.
Talk to me about your praying then. What are you praying for?
Dangerous prayers. Ooh.
We're in the season of dangerous prayers.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then Big G says, you're going to need some dangerous prayers for this lot.
Well, you are. My favourite quote from John Norman over the past couple of weeks is hot buttons.
Hot buttons?
I'll never forget when he said the hot button. It was a classic. Midway message, he dropped hot buttons.
You're going to have to talk us through that one, Jimbo. I think I've missed that one. Hot buttons?
Yeah, hot buttons. Just how I think it's something about how you can really annoy a person by their hot buttons or something.
Okay. Pushing their buttons.
Pushing their hot buttons, he said, instead of pushing.
Yeah. Pushing people's buttons. Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a lot to be said for isolating on your own, because there must be loads of conflict.
It's difficult to play hide and seek.
Well, I was going to hide.
I'm trying. I'm giving it a good go.
Where they are.
I kind of count 100 and then go looking for myself.
I heard a nice story yesterday from a friend who's going to look after their father, and they take food in on a regular basis. And he's got a lovely little cleaning lady that helps him out. And he's quite lucky because he's got like a little granny annex. So she stays there, and it's a good arrangement. So they're looking after each other, and she cooks him his meal and stuff like that. And they've got a cleaning lady as well as the lady that does, instead of having him in a care home. So they're feeling quite lucky. But the cleaning lady always leaves out his sweets. So like his chocolate and all the bits and pieces. It's very food. This is a very foodie Zoom. So, and he's losing weight because the cleaning lady can't go in the house. The little lady that looks after him is now doing the cleaning and not the cleaning lady. And they're in isolation, these two together. And because the old man now can't find his own sweets, and the cleaning lady's not leaving out for him, and he's lost a stone he's lost a stone.
Outstanding.
That's good.
Sugar.
So I've got a bit of a food dilemma going on. I've not had my breakfast just yet, but in my fridge I've got a choice of either a fruit salad with zero fat yogurt, or I've got some really nice Cumberland sausages that I could put in a sandwich with some brown sauce.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
Where do I go with that one?
You got to go.
It's Saturday today.
Yeah.
So I would be Cumberland sausage.
Sausage sizzler. You've got to do it.
Yeah.
Sausage sandwich, and then if I get a bit of a sweet tooth afterwards, I can help myself to the fruit salad.
Are you brown or red sauce?
That's pudding.
That's dessert. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The boys,
did anybody actually say what they were praying for?
No, I don't.
Cumberland sausage.
Yeah. Cumberland sausage.
Yeah, more Cumberland sausage.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, more sausage, less tea cake.
That's good stuff.
So go on, Jimbo, what are you saying, fella?
What about you, Pete? What are you praying for?
Well, to be fair, I'm praying for all the people that are in hospital that are working super hard.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really weird for people like us. Clearly, we're all doers and givers and helpers, and we're being told we can help by doing nothing. It's just, I find that just super hard, because I want to get hold of people and move them around and take things and do things and all that kind of stuff, and that's been taken away from me. It's like, and if I'm praying for all the people that are obviously working super hard, and all the poor people as well who are really, really, really unwell with this. Yeah. I mean, there's some really nasty stories out there, and I must admit that I think it's isolation, but I'm quite an emotional guy anyway, and I find myself, when I get to that bit on the news and, watching, for example, Captain Tom, let's get for him. I've sent him a few prayers. I mean, that was something else. Is he at 30 million now, by the way?
Yeah, and the oldest guy in history to have a #1 record.
Wow.
And it's his birthday, I think, Thursday.
But what did me was there was a rugby player who's paralysed, and he's doing like 10 steps. Wow. And there's like a wee lad who's handicapped, who's pushing his frame 10 meters up the street. And I'm like, oh, dearie me. Wow. Isolation Pete, tired and emotional, watching the 10 o'clock news. I mean, I need to go to bed because I'm going to cry here. It's just amazing.
It's great to see people coming together as well. That's what I've really noticed. And how much, I think it's a time that we realise how much we actually need each other. And I think that's really cool as well. Because some of the relationships, especially being a younger person about it, the amount of messages I'm getting from other people my age that are struggling, and we just sit and have a chat about it. And I think that's really true.
What do you think is the biggest challenge for a young person isolated at home with their parents?
I think, like, for me, it's not normal. Like, I've been at boarding school for 5 years now, so I haven't ever had this amount of time really living with mum, dad, and my sister. But I'm actually loving it because it's time I actually get back that I haven't had over the 5 years.
Sure.
And I think, like, a lot of the time, young people can be very moody, don't get me wrong. But I think it's about having that routine and that young people just don't have at the minute. A lot of people are just aimlessly getting up at like 4 o'clock in the evening. Going to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I think you touched on a really important point there, Jimbo, because I think what people really need at the moment is a sense of purpose in their life and a sense of identity. And I think by setting yourself up with a daily routine of getting up, getting showered, and setting some kind of basic agenda for the day is really important, because if you're going to spend all day in your PJs watching movies and sitting on your sofa eating snacks, it's not going to it's not going to go well for you.
And you can do that for a weekend, but you can't do that in this longer phase, can you? It doesn't.
You can't. And I think one of the biggest crises that's going to be in respect of COVID is people experiencing poor mental health and heightened anxiety around because I think those of us and those people who have lived with mental health problems for a number of years will be completely used to social isolation and social distancing as part of a mental health problem. So ironically, I think a lot of those guys, including myself, will be relatively okay. I think it's the people who are used to having full active lives and getting out and about who are really going to be struggling at the moment. So I think I just pray for compassion and empathy within the family unit, and that that when people are out shopping, that they show empathy and compassion to each other, because not everybody is following the government guidance around social distancing, and that's a challenge. And I think people need to be compassionate and empathetic around that, and and not just just ignore the advice. So you know.
Kev and Rev, Kev and Rev, Kev and Rev, Kev and Rev, Kev and Rev Show.